Hello everybody, and welcome to another video of English No Big Deal. My name is Maddie, and today we're going to be doing 15 questions for Conversation 20. Now, similar to all the previous 15 questions video, I'm going to be saying each question twice, once at my normal speed and once at a much slower speed. And you'll only have a few seconds to answer each question. If you haven't already watched the first two parts for this series, go back and watch the conversation video first, then watch the part 2 where we talk about the most important 15 phrases for that conversation, and then come back here and be ready to answer the 15 questions. Okay, without further ado, let's get started. Question 1. What part of the news did Maddie say she paid attention to? What part of the news did Maddie say she paid attention to? The answer, Maddie said she paid attention to the part of the news where they were talking about how the fires in British Columbia have affected the air quality across Alberta.
Hey Maddie, did you see the news this morning? Did you hear the bit about how the fires in British Columbia have been affecting the air quality across Alberta?
Yeah, I paid attention to that part. Question 2. Why is the air quality going to worsen? Why is the air quality going to worsen? The answer, because of the smoke blowing through the city. The newscaster said that even though things seem fine now, we should expect the air quality to worsen as the wind blows the smoke through the city. Question 3. During what months is fire season in Canada? During what months is fire season in Canada? The answer, fire season is from the months of May to September. Well, from the months of May to September, forest fires or wildfires are pretty common, hence why they call these months fire season. Question 4. How is Canada trying to prevent people from accidentally starting a wildfire? How is Canada trying to prevent people from accidentally starting a wildfire? The answer, by educating citizens and enacting laws banning any type of burning during fire season. Canada has been pretty good about educating its citizens on how to prevent wildfires and handling the situations. They also enacted laws banning any type of burning during these months so that somebody doesn't accidentally light a fire. Question 5. During wetter months, does Canada have any fire bans? During wetter months, does Canada have any fire bans? The answer, no. Canada has fire bans during the drier months. Well, from the months of May to September, forest fires or wildfires are pretty common, hence why they call these months fire season. They also enacted laws banning any type of burning during these months. Question 6. Is it true that fire bans are subject to change? Is it true that fire bans are subject to change? The answer: yes, fire bans can change depending on the weather and area. These bans or restrictions are subject to change depending on the weather or area you're in. Question 7. What should you do before starting a campfire? What should you do before starting a campfire? The answer: before starting a campfire, you should check the fire restrictions in your area. It's common knowledge now to check the fire restrictions before starting a campfire or such. Question 8. What can happen if someone doesn't follow the ban or they break the rules? What can happen if someone doesn't follow the ban or they break the rules? The answer: if they don't follow the ban or they break the rules, then they can receive a hefty fine. It's common knowledge now to check the fire restrictions before starting a campfire or such, especially if you don't want to receive a hefty fine. Question 9. What were the 3 recommendations that Maddie talked about to minimize health risks? What were the 3 recommendations Maddie talked about to minimize health risks? The answer: Maddie recommended keeping your windows and doors closed and locked, closing the fresh air intake on your AC unit, and people with breathing problems or other health conditions should stay indoors when the air quality is labeled high risk or very high risk. Yeah, I have a few suggestions. On the health services site, they have a lot of helpful information about taking the proper precautions and reducing your risk of exposure. And I'm pretty sure it's common sense to keep your doors and windows closed and locked, right? Aside from that, if you have an AC unit, it's recommended to close the fresh air intake to make sure that the smoke isn't being blown into your home. And if the air quality is labeled high risk or very high risk, then people with breathing or other health conditions should stay indoors. Question 10. Where can you find the air quality rating? Where can you find the air quality rating? The answer: you can find the air quality rating on your phone's weather app.
I recall seeing the air quality rating on my phone's weather app.
Question 11. How often does the air quality rating change? How often does the air quality rating change? The answer: the air quality rating changes every day. To be completely honest, I know it changes every day, but how often they change it throughout the day, I have no idea. Question 12. Is the daily air quality rating good enough for you to make a judgment call about how you should protect yourself? Is the daily air quality rating good enough for you to make a judgment call about how you should protect yourself? The answer, yes. The daily update of the air quality is good enough for you to make a judgment call. But I think the daily update is enough for us to make a judgment call. Question 13. Why was David surprised? Why was David surprised? The answer, David was surprised because Maddie was able to rattle off a lot of information about wildfires.
The info you shared was really insightful. I'm surprised you were able to rattle off a lot of information.
Question 14. What did Maddie say was pretty common every year? What did Maddie say was pretty common every year? The answer, Maddie said the situation of wildfires was pretty common every year. It's not that impressive. As I mentioned before, the situation is pretty common every year. And the last question, question 15. What did Maddie say was drilled into her head at school? What did Maddie say was drilled into her head at school? The answer, Maddie said the information about wildfire prevention and probable health risks were drilled into her head at school. Along with that, they had this information drilled into our heads about wildfire prevention and probable health risks, so those are all of the questions for Conversation 20. Leave a comment below on how you did. I also recommend going back to the conversation video so you can check your understanding. We would also appreciate it if you showed us some support by leaving a like on this video and subscribing to our channel so that we can continue making content like this. Okay, that is it for today's video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.